This has Rockets fans very concerned after Houston took a 109-106 loss against the Golden State Warriors in Game 4 of the 2024 first round of the NBA postseason, and now they trail 3-1, and there was a lot of concerning factors that we will get into right here on Rockets Digest. Before we do that, though, if you want the Rockets to win, hit subscribe. It's proven science that when you subscribe, the Rockets play better. So to be safe, come here, hit the subscribe button, plus we got news, rumors, information, all you could want about the Houston Rockets right here, and I guarantee you it's going to help the Rockets win and hopefully pull off a tremendous down 3-1 comeback. Now, tonight, they did not play so well, and that's where we start. A 109-106 loss to the Golden State Warriors on the road in what was a dogfight of a game. And the concerning part about this is not most... I guess, not that they lost. I think that's definitely a concerning part. You go down 3-1. That's one thing. The problem is how they lost and the stats behind it, and that's what we get into right now. So we first start with the Houston Rockets. 12 points from 17 points from Amen Thompson. That's pretty good, but he was minus 17 on the floor. He's a defensive wizard, yet he was minus 17 on the floor while scoring 17. Not great there. You have Dillon Brooks, who scored 11, although the 11 points came all in the first half. He was minus 9 on the court. Alperen Şengün, 31, plus 4 on the court, which was great. And Fred VanVleet, minus 7, but 25 points and just lit up from behind the arc, 8 of 12. One of those shots, though, was the last-second buzzer beater, so I'm going to say it was officially 8 for 11. But the big number, once again, Jalen freaking Green. 8 points in the game, minus 11 on the court. Doesn't shoot from beyond the arc well, doesn't hit the field goal well at all in the game, and yet our bench players were all plus. Steven Adams, by the way, plus 16, had only 5 points, yet the problem was Steve Kerr was such a smart coach that Adams was locking up the guys he needed to. He threw in a bench player to foul Steven Adams intentionally, knowing that Steven was not going to make free throws, which forced Ime Udoka's hand to take out Steven Adams. Listen, Kerr's a great coach and he's playing chess, not checkers, but that's just a crazy thing that is, again, not the greatest if your best player in terms of plus minuses was coming off the bench, and Steven Adams did so many good things tonight, but you had to take him off in the most important time because he can't hit free throws. And while that's understandable, and I'm not saying that he needs to learn how to hit free throws, that's not at all what I'm going with. However, it's just a very unfortunate thing to have to realize that the guy that was playing the best defense tonight had to be taken off the court. And then we go into the Warrior stats, and, well, a little bit of a different story. 6 points from Draymond, but plus 17 on the court. His defensive presence tonight was by far the best defensive presence that we've seen in this entire series. 27 from Butler after he was maybe not even supposed to play tonight. He played 40 minutes. You had Steph Curry with 17, so you limit Curry, but everybody else does what they're supposed to. 15 from Hield after he had a great Game 3, and then Brandon Podziemski. I swear, Steph Curry lives in my nightmares, and now Podziemski is going to be shooting threes there tonight as well. 26 points, plus 7, 6 for 11 from behind the arc. He was on fire tonight. I can't really put much more else than that. Post coming off the bench, scored 13. I'm just at a loss for words as to what exactly went wrong. I know that the Rockets played a very good game. I know that they didn't close out well, but the defense was overall solid, and yet they didn't win. And that's the most concerning part, is this felt like a game the Rockets should have won, / could have won, / at least should have pushed to overtime, but they couldn't. And I talk about the Rockets, they don't have a closer, they don't have a guy coming in to shut down those movements, but Fred VanVleet was great tonight. Fantastic, I would have to say. Yet you don't win. And the only guy I can look to for the third game when we lose is this guy right here, Jalen Green. You averaged 21 points, 4.6 rebounds, all these amazing stats. And yet when we look at the box score tonight, your stat line is 3 for 8 from the field, 1 for 5 from beyond the arc, 1 for 3 from the free throw line, which we'll get into in a moment, and 8 points. I am a big Jalen Green supporter. I think he has the ability to be a top 5, top 10 player in the NBA, and he is still so young. And that's why I want to give him grace. But it's so hard when we have games like this, and he just doesn't come up. When it's a dogfight of a game, I need my best player doing best player things. And he didn't do that at all. In fact, when I was watching the game tonight, there were very little times that I noticed when he was on the court. Now, of the starters, he only played 25 minutes. I just don't know what we have to do to have Jalen Green be the Game 2 Jalen Green every single night. Even the regular season, he was scoring 20 points a game, and now all of a sudden he can't do anything? Like, what? The team stats are also something I want to look at here, and so many important parts to this, but the biggest one is the free throw percentage, 90.9% for the Golden State Warriors, which when you have Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, it's going to be a high percentage from the charity stripe. But the Rockets shooting 61.3% from the free throw stripe. You out-rebound them. Your assists aren't there, but I don't really think assists is that big a deal. Your field goal percentage is better. Your three-point percentage was 10% higher. You shot 47 from beyond the arc. But you missed 12 free throws, and they missed 2. You shot 9 more free throws than them. And yet they made 1 more than you. It's the simple things that continue to hurt, and they become snowballing now to the point where you're down 3-1. There's so many talks about trade this offseason, and the Rockets want to keep this young core. They believe in them, but when you see a series like this, you kind of question it. Jalen Green, you can see it on the bottom of your screen, 8 points, 5 turnovers. Good job. You're our leading guy on offense, huh? What are we doing then? I understand it's the road. I understand it's a very hostile environment. And yet, it still was in our favor, it felt like. And you didn't get anything going. And so, we go kind of backward here into the aggression tonight. We'll first start off with the initial altercation, we'll call it, where Dillon Brooks and Steph Curry were going on early in the game. Obviously, the Warriors started off on a very good 13-2 run, I think is what it was. But Dillon Brooks and Curry were going at it. Brooks fouled Curry, and Curry on the ground looks at him and throws up a 2, saying that, oh, that's your second foul, which was a taunting technical, but it prompted Dillon Brooks to then try and grab the ball from Curry, which initiated a push and shove. And funny enough, I honestly think Tari Eason should have gotten a technical in this. However, the 3 people who got technicals are all in this picture, Brooks, Green, and Curry. Listen, I'm a Rockets fan through and through. However, I do think that was in our favor in terms of who got technicals and who didn't. I thought, if anything, if you're going to give one to Green, you probably would have gotten one to Tari as well. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. That forces Draymond Green to play a little bit more, let's say nonchalant is the right word. And then you have Jimmy Butler and Dillon Brooks going at it later. There was another altercation. I'm not going to say altercation. There was another hard foul that was ruled a flagrant foul on Draymond Green, in which his foot hit the head of Tari Eason. I almost think it was a little bit incidental, but again, went the Rockets' way, which makes this game so much more concerning because in some ways, and they talked about it on the halftime show, the Rockets want to get in the Warriors' head. The Rockets want to play a game where the Warriors, all they want to do is fight Dillon Brooks. All they want to do is fight Tari Eason. Or Draymond Green is so pissed off that he can't play cohesively. But that's not what happened. You did that in the second quarter, and that's when you played well, especially finishing off the second half on a great run to be up 7 points, and then immediately coming out of the third quarter and getting a 6-0 run for the Warriors. This felt like a game the Rockets should have won for so many different reasons. The offense was there. The defense, I'm not going to say it was there because you had 109 points that you gave up, and that's just not a Rockets defense for this year. But at the same time, it didn't look bad. It was a hard-fought game. There was a lot of free throws. There was a lot of stuff going on. It didn't look bad. There was some clutch threes and some very highly contested threes and shots that the Warriors hit. You have to kind of give credit to them. But at the same time, when you look at that, you put yourself down 3-1. You know you're going to have to come back to Golden State at least once if you want to try and win this series. This is a tough thing to swallow, and it fuels the criticism of the Rockets that has been all season. They're too young. They're not going to win. The playoffs are going to be too much for them. And granted, I think they did get a little bit of an unfortunate bounce because the Warriors are a team that has really haunted our dreams. 4-0 against us in the postseason in the past 20-something years, whatever you want to call it. You have a Steph Curry who continues to just shoot lights out, and when he doesn't, Brandon Pajemski scores 20-plus points. And the Warriors didn't have a great season, and they traded for Jimmy Butler, and then all of a sudden went off, got to the 7th seed, won it, and now playing against us. So you're playing a team who had a very good end of the season. Now, granted, you also had a great end of the season. And it's just not coming to fruition right here. And I truly don't know what to expect at this point. I don't. I know what is Game 5 going to look like? It's a must-win game. So, what does Steve Kerr throw at us? All the talk about how Ime Udoka, when he has time to plan, is going to be great. You lost to them without Jimmy Butler, and now they have him back, and he's scoring 20 points a game, and you lost again. There's just not much more I can say other than I have very little hope that we will come back. And in some ways, I have hope that we'll even push it to a Game 7. And that's where I ask you the question. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. How far do you think the Rockets will make it? Are they making a comeback? Are they going to win the series and go to Game 7? Are they going to go to Game 6 before they lose? Or are they going to lose in Game 5 upcoming? Let me know down in the comment section. You can type Game 5, Game 6, or Game 7. And if you type Game 7, tell me if you think they win or not. And I hope the confidence is there. And it's not with me, I got to be honest. It's just not clicking, unfortunately. And, as much as I think this was a legacy game for Fred VanVleet, he didn't win. So it's going to be kind of thrown in the trash, which sucks because he had such a great game, but it doesn't matter. You lost. And in a situation like this, where you're now down 3-1, no one's going to remember the great Fred VanVleet game of game 4 where you lost by 3. That's not going to happen. So let me know what you think. We'll have some more videos talking about the upcoming game and the chippiness and all that stuff. So, keep involved. And again, hit the subscribe button. I'm telling you, it helps us win. So if you hit the subscribe button and we have a Rockets win, you kind of get credit for it. You kind of do. But I appreciate you, Rockets fans, and we will see you next time here on Rockets Digest.